Hello world. It is Monday, the 13th, is it? Yes, of February. Day before Valentine's Day. And I just feel like yakking at you a little bit, having my morning coffee. Yes, I'm aware that the wonderful singer Al Jarreau passed away yesterday morning, Sunday morning. I do have Al Jarreau records. They're in the closet, so I can't show you one. But Al Jarreau was a truly gifted singer, and he could do jazz as well as R&B and anything else. There's clips where he's doing some amazing scat vocalizing. I did have the wonderful opportunity to see him live many years ago, and it was a great show. I mean, he really put on a wonderful show. So rest in peace, Al Jarreau. Once again, the people who bring joy to our lives are the artists, the music makers, the artists. These are the people who really make life worth living, not our politicians. So the last couple of videos before this one, you saw where I showed first a clip of my new band playing our very first show, and then me yesterday sitting here listening to the recording on my album Murphy of this one of the songs that you saw in the live clip. I've just got a few of these left for sale. I'm happy to say that playing the music live is reviving interest, and people are actually hearing this music who have never heard it before. It is very good. I'm not saying it because I made it. I'm saying it because it is good. I'm a music lover, you know. That's why I do this, you know. I don't make it to think I made a record. I'm trying to make good music. And so I'm sharing that now. And it occurred to me that, I talk about everyone else's music. I very seldom talk about mine. I really do take long periods of time between talking about what I do. And, because of my personal values. But the way the market works is that out of sight, out of mind, and the ones who scream the loudest get the most attention. And another thought that I am having often because of my age is mortality, okay? When you're younger, I can remember, I'm only 61, but I don't know how long I'm going to live. And I talk like this because people at my age are dying like flies, okay? I could live a long time, I don't know. But one of the things that is different for me than was maybe even 10 years ago, much less when I was in my 20s and 30s, is that when you're in your 20s and 30s, you're always looking ahead. You're always looking ahead like, this is going to get better, better, better. I'm going to do this, do this, do this, and do this. Now at this age, for me at 61, going on 62, the thoughts are there that, well, I could keep going, but I could also die at any time. And that there's no guarantee. I'm not at the end of the road, but I'm not at the beginning. And it does affect your thoughts, not in a mortality is not morbid unless you make it. What I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to qualify here is my need to talk more about what I do while I can, rather than always being so damn modest, hoping that people will just discover me. Because that really has been my modus operandi, which is, well, hopefully people will just discover what I do because it's good. And that has happened to a degree. But as you know, the marketplace works for those with big mouths and no talent. All you have to do is just point at yourself long enough and maybe dress yourself up wild enough that people think, oh, I think I like that. It happens all the time. So I've got Murphy on vinyl for sale. Thankfully, people are paying attention and are buying it digitally. I've made some digital sales of Murphy on Bandcamp because it is about the music. This is a wonderful artifact to have on vinyl, 180 gram vinyl, colored vinyl. But it's the music first. And with that in mind, I'll bring up another current event, timely at this time. Last night was the Grammy Awards. Now, I don't have television reception. I don't have a cable box nor rabbit ears, so I don't watch television. I catch the news and stuff through YouTube and other stuff on the internet. When I had cable for years, I would watch the Grammys because because of my interest in music. But I caught on years ago that the Grammys are not about musical excellence. The Grammys are about the industry. It is not about whether or not someone is good musically. It is about whether or not someone is doing well in the industry. And so I know I didn't miss anything last night. Matter of fact, I checked to see if there was clips on this morning of Metallica with Lady Gaga because I wanted to see that. And sure enough, it was terrible. Oh my God. But those people are making money, big money, and that's all it's about. Terrace Martin did not win for Best R&B. I was hoping for him because I have a direct connection to him personally. But his friend Lala Hathaway, she won instead, and he's part of her crew, so in a way he wins anyway. But the Grammys and commercial music is not about art to me. I really am turned off by Beyonce because she is such a commercial product. It's like the industry is really working for her to the point that I just don't even want to listen to her, even though she's good. But the hardcore business of just making money on art really turns me off, always has. And so when that's your bottom line, I don't even want to know. I don't want to know about you. Okay. So anyway, I keep showing Murphy, but I want to tell you I've got other records, not just for sale, but I've made other records that are all gone. Now this one, Flyover, is still, as I keep saying, I'm probably the most proud of this one. I have other music that if I could get it on vinyl, I could surpass Flyover now in my own mind, but I don't have the money for the vinyl right now. This album of mine is still in stock. Nice. And Chris Oliver, who sound system, I've got a million thoughts in my mind. Chris, I know you watch. Chris, I do listen to I have listened to all the solar system that you've given me. I'm interested in the sounds that you make. Your words never connect, so that's the honest feedback I can give you. Sonically, the solar system is interesting to me. I don't know what you're singing about, and I feel your frustration, Chris, because I think you're pretty good, and yet it seems like you can't get any traction in the music world as far as getting people to pay attention to you and hear your music. So I think I feel your frustration, my friend. But Chris is on this album. He sings on one song. We collaborated long distance. And my appreciation of my own album has grown over time. This I still have in stock. But I got a bunch of other records that I have made. I was just playing them. I just had them out. And then I put them away? Well, here's another one. This one is this is the one that was put up by a label out of Greece. And this is old stuff of mine, Myths and Realities, that they really liked, and put out this compilation of material of mine from as far back as 1985. They really honored me by doing a special limited edition of this, 250 copies. Half of the copies were on gray splatter or streaked vinyl. The other half were on blue streaked vinyl. I honestly forget now which one I had. Did I have the blue? Because we split them. And the U.S. contingent of these sold out almost immediately. So there are copies of this available through the label Intact out of Greece. I'll leave the link. I think the ones that left are blue vinyl, but not gray. But I've talked about these before, and I guess that's why I'll be thinking, well, you've seen it before, but many people have not seen it before. People are asking me about artists that I've made videos about. Well, I've made over 1,000 videos. I can't expect you to watch them all. But I'm not going to repeat myself until I feel like it, okay? So folks that are making requests, if you don't get your requests filled, please understand, this is my life. I'm not getting paid to do this, and I'm just going to do what I feel like doing, okay? That way I'll enjoy this. But Dereck, number 3. This was the first of my solo project that I got put on vinyl. The first solo record I made on CD back in 2001 was this, but I didn't get this put out on vinyl until after this. This is completely out. I have one extra copy for sale, but I want a lot of money for it, so it's just sitting in my house. But years ago, back in the 80s, my band helped put Nebraska on the map as far as alternative music with this band, Digital Sex. We put this album out in about 1984, 85. We're doing the college music, college radio thing, sending it all over the world to be played on college radio, etc. We got a #1 in France, which led to making a CD on Sordid Sentimental, getting a mention on MTV, and helping bring attention to Nebraska. I also have these other albums. I have more than what I'm showing, but I'm showing these right quick. Sonospheres, which features one of my collage artworks. This is my personal sealed copy. I've kept one sealed copy. This is completely sold out. Of course, now I understand that this is showing up used around the country. This is ambient. It's kind of abstract. And so you're going to either love this or it's not going to connect. But this is another album I made, Sonospheres #2. Sonospheres #1, I put out only 100 copies. Man, that was gone just like that. Dereck #2 is I put out on vinyl. Here's a picture of me at the age of 17 with my older sister Stephanie and my nephew Kareem. If you follow me on Facebook, that's Keo Ogsgord, my sister Stephanie. She goes by the name Keo. And this is her painting that I used for the cover. I have one extra copy of this for sale that I want a lot of money for too. But besides those records, my discography is actually a total of over 80 titles. I played on 80 different recordings that have been released in one form or another by different people. Here's another example of one. You can't really see the cover, but this is a split album by Velvet Glacier and Abe Undent. And I'm on the Abe Undent side, where I used to do these improvisational jams and record them with a visual artist named Jay Schleich, who's in Iowa City. And he used part of that to make that record. This is a collector's item. If you look for this on Discogs, you'll see that these are not cheap. This is a compilation called Shaikomania. It's supposed to be Psychomania. And someone is calling me, and he's just going to have to wait. But the story behind this was that my partner in Digital Sex, Steve, made the connection to get on this compilation. So, but the track is mine, and Steve just plays a couple notes on it, but it's his name on the album, but it's actually both of us. This is a collector's item. So I just wanted to talk about those things a little bit. In my play pile, because I know you're interested, Sakamoto's first solo album, Thousand Knives Of, played this all the way through yesterday. There is a bit of a dated aspect to the way it sounds, but I love this man's music so much. I love this album, Thousand Knives. Fever Tree, not one of my favorite bands, but one of the bands from the psychedelic era I managed to hang on to. Side 2 of this is really good. Side 1 I don't like. There's a bluesiness to it that I can do without, because this was back in the 60s when white kids really couldn't play the blues worth a fuck. So what about the F-bomb? Trump is president. That's much more offensive. But this is actually, side 2 redeems this. Fever Tree. Enjoyed that. Some jazz I was listening to. World Saxophone Quartet. Just fantastic. Very, very vital, alive music. 4 of the best saxophone players alive. Hamiet Blewett, Julius Hemphill, Oliver Lake, and David Murray. Yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. But I'm going to keep it again under 20 minutes. I want to encourage folks to listen to my music. You watch this because you're interested in music. And I'm saying this not with ego. I'm saying it very, very objectively. The music that I make is of the same quality or better as anything that you're buying in the world. The other thing I'll say is that I am consciously not attempting, when I make my personal music, I'm not trying to fit into any category. So when people tell me, oh, it sounds like techno, or it sounds like house, or it sounds like this, well, that's fine that that's what you hear, but I'm not trying to emulate any genres whatsoever. I am merely trying to make music with elements that interest me. This has worked against me as far as marketing because I don't fit neatly into a slot. I'm proud of that personally because that means that my art is real. Of course, art that fits into slots is real too, but when you hear it, you immediately know right away. Like someone just asked me on my last video, had I heard of a new age artist, Dave or something? Well, I have. I've heard of him with some work he did with, I think, John Jenkins or someone. But I went just to double check to see if I heard his music, and I have. But when I clicked the music and heard it, I immediately recognized the genre, ambient, soundtrack, expensive piano. It just, right away, I could hear the commercial definition of that music. And I'm happy to say that none of my personal music does that. None of my music fits neatly into a category. I'm really proud of that. My music is real. It's a true expression. All the more reason for you to not wait until I'm fucking dead to buy my music. Because I've said this before, and very likely this is what will happen. I'm having a certain amount of notoriety and success while I'm alive. But damn it, just like has happened to countless other artists, once we're dead, all of a sudden there's the renaissance. Oh, we've been discovered. Oh, this person, that's fucking bullshit. And on that line, because I am very honest, David Bowie winning 5 Grammys for Black Star is meaningless. Maybe it's good for his wife and daughter's bank account, but Bowie's dead. He's dead. He can't feel them fucking Grammys. So, find out about my music and support me if you like it. I'm an original. I am. And that's it for today, guys. God, I say this, I think of God in the terms of a very, very universal term, not religious, okay? Be blessed.